for that trim. So earlier I spoke to Danielle from Elegance Hair and Brow Bar in Redcar, and she's completed some training called Behind the Mask and Eyes on Cancer. It's fascinating stuff. Have a listen to this.
I'm not too bad. I have my up and down days, which I think everyone will be going through at the minute, won't they?
Absolutely, and you know, I think everyone's goes through the same sort of sine wave of we feel quite positive, we feel good, and then I think sometimes the enormity of it all hits us.
Absolutely.
And I tend to just phone my mates up or speak to my brother, and you know, and just try to get a little bit of sense of, you know, we are in this together and we will be all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, I'm not a wealthy man, but I would put my mortgage on that you're getting quite a few messages from people worrying about their hair at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. So many people, yeah. I have had a lot of people message me just to see how I'm doing as well, which is really nice because they've put the hair aside. They don't even mention the hair, and they just message me and say that they hope that I'm doing okay. Yeah, which is really, really nice.
And that's that relationship you have, isn't it, with your clients? And I call them clients, but they're probably more than that, aren't they? They're like friends that come
definitely.
You know, so that must be can you teach that within your industry, or is it something that you've got to have within now? You have that empathy to be able to talk and understand people that come to you to have their hair or maybe their brows done?
I can't speak for everybody else, but personally, I don't think it was a shock for my family that I became a hairdresser because I'm the most chattiest person that any of them have ever met. So it comes quite naturally to me to just sit and chat to someone and it be quite, you know, fluent with the conversation. So, yeah.
And I would imagine people will tell you things that they possibly wouldn't divulge to anyone else because of that comfortable way that you make people feel.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. Yeah, you get a lot of clients opening up to you about certain things, and you know, sometimes you can give some good advice. At times you don't really know what to say. You know, it can be a bit of an awkward one, but you're just an ear for them to, you know, for them to talk to, for you to listen. Which is just one of the main things about being a hairdresser or a beautician, really, that you listen to your clients.
And that's what you're doing now, isn't it? You haven't got your feet up. You're still there for your clients, aren't you? Can you explain how?
I am. So I decided to make the most of my time. I don't have any children, so I am at home pottering about, and I've done enough baking for anybody. So I decided to look into some free courses. I did a couple of Barber courses that are free online for any hairdressers that want to do anything like that. But I was recommended on a hairdressing group that I have got on Facebook, a couple of courses. One of them was called Behind the Mask. The other one is called Eyes on Cancer. So the Behind the Mask one really struck out to me because during lockdown, I have been really worried about these stories that we're hearing about, you know, women and men as well, that have been, you know, domestically abused because they're in lockdown with their abuser. And it really has struck a chord with me inside. So when this course was recommended to me and I looked at it, I just knew straight away it was something I had to do. So it's not a course, it's obviously just a little bit of training behind it, so I'm not going to be qualified in anything, but I am able to sort of speak to a client now and know how to deal with that sort of thing. Like I said earlier about awkward conversations, this can be one of them because you just don't really know what to say.
It fits in perfectly, doesn't it, with what you do? Because you'll see a client or over a period of time, and you'll be able to spot changes within that client, maybe it's in mood, demeanour, and whatever. Is that the sort of thing that you're looking for? Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. So the course, it's just a 22-minute video, and then it just to show you what to look out for, to show you any signs. So a domestic abuse could be from a partner or an ex-partner, a family member, or it could be someone who's not related but within the family setting. And domestic abuse can cover physical, sexual, psychological, emotional, threats, harassing, or some form of control. And it kills 2 women each week, domestic abuse. And it affects 1 in 4. 1 in 4 will experience it. So it's just about how to sort of, if you notice something, you might want to ask them, you know, how they're doing. Is there anything on the mind, that sort of thing? You don't seem your usual self. Is everything all right? Or you seem a little bit down? And that's an opening for them to be able to say if there is something going on, if they're actually open enough at that point to talk about what's going on. Or it may even be that you've noticed something from the partner directly, you know, how they might say that, oh, my partner only wants me to have my hair a certain way. You know, no matter how much you might, you know, give them your advice, or no, my partner wants me to have my hair like this. So, you know, you could sort of say, I've like noticed a little bit of behaviour from that. He rings you a lot. Is everything okay there? It's another opening for them to be able to speak to you. But if they don't take you up on it, that's the end of it. You might be reading more into it than it is, but it's just seeing the signs there in case there is something, in case they don't feel like they can talk to anybody about it. They might feel ashamed or embarrassed. And like with a lot of hairdressers and a lot of beauticians, they'll know that their clients do talk to them about stuff that they wouldn't talk to the family or friends. They might even talk about their family and friends and say, oh, I don't really know how to deal with this situation, and you can give them a little bit of advice the next time you see them. Oh yeah, that was all sorted. We managed to get everything cleared up, and you know, that might have been because of the advice that you've given them. So by being here for something like that for them as well, it's obviously going to be quite life-changing for them if it was to be quite serious.
Absolutely. It's such a simple thing, and which just dovetails in what you do perfectly, but can be massively effective, as you say. You know, you that little conversation, that little "Are you all right?" could be the life or death conversation for someone, really, couldn't it? And that's quite a responsibility.
Yeah, the good thing about this course as well is they send you a printed leaflet, I suppose you would call it, of organisations that may be able to help.
Right.
So if this client was to say, yes, this is happening, I haven't been able to talk about it to anybody, I do need some help, you could, well, what I've actually done is I've printed about 10 of these off, just in case anybody does happen to be in at that particular point. I don't have to start faffing about trying to get them written down. I've already got them printed and they'll be in my folder. I can just take it straight out and pass them to it.
So are you still operating this service now, even in lockdown? Can people get in touch with you if they, you know, any of your clients or regular clients?
Absolutely. If anybody was, I mean, I've even put a live video out a couple of weeks, maybe, I don't even know how long ago it was because every day feels the same, but maybe about a week ago. But I just did a little live video because I've been doing a little competition for a voucher. But in between it, I've been showing little hair tips and things, and one of the things that I actually did in this video was just to say that I'm just going to make things a little bit serious now, and mental health is a really big thing with me. You know, I'm a big advocate for talking about it, you know, for really reach out to someone if you are struggling, or reach out to someone if you think they're struggling. So I just put on my live, you know, if anyone is feeling that way, I mean, I've had days like that myself where I've felt really down and I'll ring my best mate. But if anyone is struggling, if anyone just needs someone to have a little rant to sometimes, just needs a little whinge, give me a ring. I'm your first person. My phone is there. My inbox is always open. Please get in touch with me. So the same as that, this as well, if anybody is struggling with any form of domestic abuse, my inbox is always open. No matter what happens, I will be there.
You're a superstar. What an absolute gem of a person you are, Danielle. I am absolutely,
thank you.
You know, you are, because it's just lovely that you can just crack on and do what you do, but you are helping others, and that's a really kind thing to do, and it's been a pleasure to speak to you this morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
What's your story? Do you want to tell us?